Hey, happy Friday. You have not heard me say that in a while. And so, yeah, I'm back. And I know there's always this lag whenever I don't post for a while and I come back. I come back like, hey, I'm back. And then there's a lag. And then I come back and go, hey, I'm back. And then there's a lag. And then I come back like I am now. But I'm not going to say that this time. I'm not. Just in the words of my dad, I can show you better than I can tell you. And so that's what I'm going to do. So, if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for joining me. Please, by all means, take what resonates, leave what does not, and understand that I am not here claiming to be your guru, your expert, or on anything other than my life. That's it, that's all. I am a firm believer that we are not meant to go through life and our stuff just for the sake of suffering or to keep it to ourselves. I believe that there is a healing that takes place when we share our stories and our stuff, because we heal both others and ourselves when we do that. And so that's what this channel is all about, and that's all I'm here to do. So that's it. And if you are familiar with my channel, thank you for sticking with me. Thank you. And same thing, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. So if you're familiar with my channel, you know usually when there is a lag, I come back and tell you that, I'm over on this side of, I don't want to say dealing with life because that makes it sound like I'm really going through something. And it wasn't so much about going through anything as it was just taking my lessons in. 2017 has been full of lessons, not unlike 2016. 2016 was full of lessons. Well, unlike 2016, because if you're familiar with my channel and you've watched my videos, you've heard me talk about 2016. Me and 2016 had some creative differences. We did not see eye to eye on a lot of things. Basically, 2016 treated me like it was Debo and I was Red, and took my beach cruiser and my chain, and it was my grandmama's chain. And I cried when I got in the car. No, but I feel like the lessons of 2016 came painfully, where 2017 has been quite gentle, very gentle, and I appreciate that. So one of my biggest premier lessons of 2017 lies in seeing and appreciating myself. If you're familiar with my channel, you may have seen a video I did several years ago for Walter Latham for his Relentless campaign. And in it, I talked about the struggles I had growing up as Bernie's daughter, because I didn't know who I was. So if you told me, if you came to me or you talked about me and said, hey, she's just Bernie's daughter, that would chap my hide, because I felt like you were reducing me. But I didn't know who I was. And that was the big issue with it. Now that I know who I am, you say, oh, you're Bernie's daughter. Yeah, I am. It doesn't bother me at all. See? So 2017, though, has taught me knowing myself is great. That was a great first step. It was wonderful that I got to know myself. That wasn't enough, though. I needed to not just know myself, but I needed to get to a space where I was seeing and appreciating the fullness of who I am. I had a very difficult time accepting compliments. I did not. Yeah, that just wasn't me. I would find a way. I could deflect a compliment, zoom, 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 better than anybody's business. You tell me you like my, clothes, my shoes or something. Girl, this is old. This is 5 years old. I got this on sale, 50% off, and I had a 25% coupon. Like, somehow paying less for it makes it less cute. I don't know. You told me I was beautiful, I would find a way to, no, because you see, and even once I got to the point where I would say thank you, it was a very hollow, empty thank you, and I walked away side-eyeing like, something wrong with you, because you can't see. So I had to learn how to, get to the space of learning to appreciate me, just for me. And for me, a lot of times when we say you need to, do things for yourself, it starts with the inside and then you let it come from outside. Well, I had to do the opposite. I had to start on the outside and let it go inside. The inside wasn't as difficult for me as the outside was. My dad used to say he never met a mic he didn't like. Well, I was kind of the opposite. I never met a mirror I didn't like. My first words upon seeing any mirror were, ew. And I would then proceed to dissect myself and rattle off everything I did not like about myself, which was plenty. And it didn't hit me until earlier this year. I don't even remember what the compliment was, but someone complimented me. And in my head, I started deflecting it. And the words were about to come out of my mouth, but it physically hurt. My body was just like, I don't like you. You don't play fair. You've been mean to me my whole life, and I'm sick of it. And so I was like, oh, shoot, hold on, wait a minute, what was that? And I sat with it for a bit, and I realized, like, man, you treat yourself foul. Like, I always tell my daughter at the Fizzle, you are the best friend you will ever have. So you need to treat yourself like you are your best friend. You wouldn't tolerate ill treatment from, your friend. Why would you do it to yourself? Mama had to take her own words. So it started with the outside. Because again, like I said, the inside wasn't as bad. The inside was more, I had a habit of seeing myself like in hindsight, or that, if you could do this, you would be great. And I've worked on that as well. But that outside, like I told you, I see a mirror and I was like, ew. Ew. So I had to learn how to go back. It was like I had to go back and peel all the layers back. And it was like I had to love on myself like I was a toddler. And love myself from toddler to, young kid, to bigger kid, to preteen, to teenager, to young adult, to here. So I like set a pretty good foundation for myself so that when I walked out into the world and you saw me, I could, acknowledge that you see, yes, you see me. Ah, my daughter's great for that. You tell my daughter she's beautiful and she's going to go, yes, thank you. Thank you so much for noticing. Yes, I am. And initially I used to try to get her out of that. Like, oh, that is so vain, but it's really not. It's not in an egotistical, it's in a, yes, I know I'm beautiful. Thank you for acknowledging what I already know about myself. And that is the space that I am in now. Like, I'm on fire. I'm bad business. Thank you for noticing. All right, I got that. And it wasn't easy to get to this point. I knew I'd gotten to this point, though. Last month, I went to an event, and one of the things that the facilitator had us do was write 5 things about ourselves that we, like, that are pretty dope about us. And if this were like 6, 7, 8 months ago, my list would have probably been like, I'm alive. I'm Jasmine's mama. Like, it would have been it would have been weak. It would have been a very weak list. But I was actually able to write more than 5 things very easily. Like, as soon as they said it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I've got this. And I really like the way this feels, because now when I go out into the world, my expectation, I'm not so defensive. I'm not, if you compliment me, if you see me, I am not, 1, doubting what you see. 2, I am not deflecting what you see. I'm not defensive about it. I don't think you want something from me, or, that you're plotting on me, or anything. Like, I get it. And on the off chance that, you reflect something back to me that I don't think is mine, I know how to be like, that's not mine, that's yours. So, okay, go ahead with that. you take that over there, and I'm going to go on over here. It's made it much easier, but I know that has a lot to do with the fact that I see myself now. And that makes it easier for me to allow myself to be seen in for the fullness of who I am. So, yeah, if you're struggling with, seeing yourself, I recommend you get to that space with yourself, man. Like, get a mirror and look at yourself in the mirror. I don't know if you've ever had to do this at any point, maybe in work training or something, where you hold another person's gaze for a minute. Don't say anything, just hold the gaze. It's super uncomfortable. So imagine doing it with yourself. Just hold your own gaze for a minute. And you don't have to say or do anything. Just hold your own gaze for a minute. It's like you get to see yourself for the first time. Because how many of us go through the motions when it comes to ourselves? We make sure that we see other people and acknowledge other people, and then we get to ourselves and we're like, yeah, okay. Anyway, we got to stop doing that, man. Because we can only meet other people to the extent that we've met ourselves. And if I have never fully met me, how can I fully meet you? So, yeah, I have fully met myself. So having said that, it is a pleasure to meet all of you. And so, yeah, that's all I got for today. I'm not going to take up a whole lot of your time, but I just wanted to share that because it feels really good to be in this space, and sharing is caring. So, yay, I shared, I cared. So, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Friday. I love you. Can't do anything about it. And I will see you next week. Yeah, like I said, not going to say it, not going to say it, just going to show you. So, with that, have an awesome Friday. Bye.